Oh, thank you. Please. I'd be standing up for all of you. You're the ones that are making our earth greener and our urban settings greener. Well, great man, is that what you called me, Mohammed? Would you tell that to Anita? She needs to be reminded about that. It's my wife. Because I'm still taking out the garbage. But I wanted to join you this morning, the American Community Garden Association, and Bobby, to congratulate you and to thank you for coming here to San Francisco and to Oakland and to take a look at what we're doing here. And hopefully you will also become enthusiastic to see what we're doing, and if we can also be challenged by the ideas that you bring in this association, we'd be glad to continue opening up our minds and our hearts and our communities to receive ideas from across the country, if not the world, as to how we can improve it. Because it never is about what just San Francisco is doing. It's about whether or not we can also get great ideas from around the world and from around the country as to what we could do even more. Because a lot of our ideas are homegrown. A lot of our ideas are also transplanted. And that's the greatness of our city. We are an international city, and we want to show what ideas are coming out of the Far East, from China, from Malaysia, from Philippines, Singapore, as well as from all over Europe, perhaps from Africa and South America. We can learn from that, just as we've done with concepts like Sunday streets, where people take back these streets and start having fun in our urban communities and bringing out the children to enjoy the environment, because it's our future generations that are going to give us the best ideas about how to keep our environment and keep our earth strong. I want to tell you that there are just a tremendous amount of enthusiasm for keeping our city green. We've got at least 3 different projects that we've been focused on for a number of years, and I had the privilege of working with Mohammed and Fuad Swice, our city engineer, and a bunch of others to accomplish this, but most importantly, with our community leaders and our volunteers throughout every part of our neighborhoods. And I hope that you do use your time and also take advantage of our wonderful weather this week to go out and do as many tours as possible to all of the different community gardens. We have a community challenge grant program, one that I've been very proud to have headed up when we were at Public Works, but also as a city administrator. This program today funds almost $900,000 this year in programs that are all community pushed. It's a tax checkoff for our corporations and individuals, and they fund this through the tax system to provide almost $1 million every year, and it is put into a community-driven process where community leaders will apply on behalf of themselves or their own streets or their own gardens, and they can get grants of up to $100,000 or as small as $5,000. And they could be groups that have never done anything except to start talking to each other about how to increase their neighborhood's interests in greening and the environment. And we have associated ourselves with the Parks Alliance as well as the Clean City Coalition to provide administrative support to any group that forms, as well as those groups that have schooled themselves over many, many years, gotten well organized, and know what they're doing in their communities and want to increase their gardens. There'll be gardens that would be as small as a few hundred square feet to ones that are thousands of square feet large, taking over alleyways, taking over median strips, taking over long abandoned areas and blighted areas of our city. Community groups and volunteers from the neighborhoods will form those alliances, most of the time in concert with either DPW or our Public Utilities Commission or our Parks, Recreation and Parks Department. And we've all been open to those kinds of collaborations with it. So the Community Challenge Grant, I think, is an excellent model. By the way, without anybody's knowledge, I still call up the director, Lenita Enriquez, to say, what's going on this year? Give me a list of what you're about to fund. Can I look at that list? That's what I used to do as city administrator. Unbeknownst to DPW, I try to keep out of their business, but in the Community Challenge Grant Program that now Naomi Kelly, our city administrator, runs, I'm still kind of reaching in to find out what are those great things that the neighborhoods are wanting to do. And I'd like to go out there and visit them and see what they're trying to do to recreate it. I signed off last year, in 2011, the Urban Agriculture Ordinance. And the Urban Agriculture Ordinance for us was another reflection of city policy with the Board of Supervisors, that we wanted to increase the opportunities for folks to grow crops, to grow agriculture, to be able to sell it if they so wish to, so that we can have folks that already have that experience but not necessarily at the corporate level. Our urban agriculture is important to us. We have identified a number of abandoned lots all over the city, and we'd love to, again, excite volunteers and people who are interested in urban agriculture and the ability to distribute fresh produce to people who are in need. Allow that to happen, working with our school district to see what can happen on their lots. So the Urban Agriculture Ordinance is something that you also might want to take a look at. And finally, with our Recreation and Park Department, the Community Gardens Program, another proud program that we have. Again, taking lots, whether they're a few hundred square feet or thousands of square feet, and activating them and hosting volunteers to be able to build community gardens. We now have 35 and growing established community gardens in the city. And again, all run by volunteers. Some of them that are individual lots, and individuals will grow in them. And there are a lot of lots that are shared responsibilities and shared neighborhood responsibilities to grow crops and to grow agriculture there for not only eating purposes or flowers or any of the things that the individuals wish to have. And they're happening right in our Golden Gate Park as well as in our neighborhood parks. So we're excited that hopefully you can see those as well. So these are just 3 small examples of hopefully things that you can visit while you're here. I understand you're going to my hometown, Seattle, next year. Is that right? Yeah. Well, I was born and raised in Seattle, so the Seattle-San Francisco connection. Always very interesting here. And then, of course, if that's not enough for you to do while you're here, then you should talk to Muhammad about getting tickets to the Giants, the 49ers, or Outside Lands, because that's all happening this weekend. And that's, of course, the fun that we have in our great city. We are, of course, a large city. I get to talk and brag about the things that we're doing, but interchange that at the Conference of Mayors. And I should want you to know that the environment, our commitment to greening, our climate action plans are all critical parts of what all of our mayors are held accountable to do because of the advocacy that associations like you do across the country. Keep up that work. Keep reminding mayors like me and everybody else, we have an obligation to take the greening ideas and put them into the urban setting. Give our kids the chance to get dirty with their hands, but watch things grow as they grow. This is the only way I know how to run a city. I have worked in those alleyways with Mohammed for many years, worked in the dirtiest smelling streets of our city. But I come out loving our people even greater, no matter what they've done or not did. Whatever graffiti that we have as our challenge, whatever illegal dumping that goes on, it's the ability to excite and organize our communities around these issues that bring out the best of all of us. The investment in our neighborhoods is one of my #1 priorities as the mayor of the city, and to have example after example of how we can unite more of our neighborhoods to make that investment too, not just with money, but with their skill sets, with their spirit of volunteerism, with bringing kids out and connecting up their school sites and every other thing that we can do to build strong communities. And I know the Gardening Association has as its core our own collaboration, education of our own folks in the neighborhoods, and build that spirit up. And then that spirit, that collaboration, that volunteerism will always then push us in government to do the right policies and open up more government, more to the ideas that our neighborhoods have about building strong cities. So thank you for being here. I want to thank all of the sponsors, from the Hilton, who's hosting us here, to all the organizations, the corporate organizations, to our partners in Recology, to Spur, to the think tanks that help keep us going and give us better ideas around the country as how we can do it. Today we are 78% recycling, the highest in the nation. In our lifetimes, we will get to 100% with your help. Thank you very much and have a great conference.